What's up, everybody? It's your favorite show, Get a Bucket. I'm your host, Train, as usual. Hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful day. And as you can see, we got my guys on the screen. We got a newcomer, actually, AJ, from Hip Hop Vibes, something light, something slight. We got my boy Sharper here as well. And then Ron from the HCB Collection. Fellas, how y'all doing? We're going to start it off proper. And I got to say who to start it off with. I've been realizing that, and that's been on my bad. I apologize for the past videos. So, AJ, since you're the newcomer, how's everything been going with you, man?
Living, man, living, working, grinding, staying busy, podcast, radio, all that good shit. We can cuss on here, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I cuss. Only thing I ain't said is the N-word. That's the only thing I ain't said on here yet.
All right, cool. I'll try to refrain from saying that word.
Yeah, you try to. Yeah. Sharper, how's everything with you, man?
Going good, man. I started coaching last week, so prepping for the upcoming football season in the fall. So hanging in there.
Hey, good stuff. Good stuff. Let me know when the games are, man. We'll come out.
Got you.
Yeah, and I also appreciate you too, because you actually got the hat on, which the light of the moon would beam directly down on your head and blind everybody.
Oh, Sean! Hey, look, Sean Livingston. You already starting out with the good jokes, Sean Livingston. Okay.
Krillin. Come on now. Solar flare, real quick, Krillin. Solar flare.
Hey, look. I'm glad. I'm glad you did the full smoke with Matt Barnes and everything. Now you talked about your road to recovery, and now you back blessing us common brothers with your presence. Okay.
But see, at least I'm looked at as a champion. Consistently, you just took L's. I'm just saying, like even in your household, you looked at as a second option.
Okay.
Damn.
Hey, look. Hey, also got called. Hold up. I also got called Derek Fisher. So hey, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And Derek Fisher got how many rings? How many rings does Derek Fisher? How many rings does he have with your Lakers?
Derek was clutch though.
Ooh.
Derek was clutch though. I don't know if you had a clutch moment. But it's cool.
I mean, for you, you rode on the piggyback.
Other people hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my bad. I forget. We got some talkers on the show. That's my bad. Ron, how's everything with you, man? How's everything with
you? Everything's good, man. Life is good.
Good. See that? Yeah, I apologize.
Everything is wonderful. It's been an amazing week.
I'm gonna just let you guys know right here. You got two Spurs fans, so they're gonna be really excited. I lied and told them earlier we were gonna talk about the Spurs, but I'm joking. We're not talking about the Spurs. I just gotta get them on the show. Just do it to them like that. Just something slight. What's that?
I'm just saying, number one picks do well with us.
Oh, that's the pass.
Number one picks do well with us.
That's the pass. Okay, that's cool.
You real mad.
That is so crazy. That is so crazy. So look, clearly, ladies and gentlemen, I think we might view the game a little bit differently, right? Like, for example, I view the game based on my team being champions for a while. Sharper views the game as a team that's just been lackluster for a while. Ron and AJ just they tried hard for a good minute. I ain't gonna lie to you, and they hit a little snag too. But so did we. So I respect them. Wizards though, they go back to the Bullets, please. But
hey,
let me ask you guys this, because look, I talked about championships right there, right? Notice I just talked about championships, highlighted championships against Sharper. Go back to the Bullets and then we can talk. But is that a poor aspect to look at the game? Because Kevin Durant was actually there was a tweet that came out and he was basically telling somebody that you should look at the game whether or not you're good.
I just think how y'all consume the game is trash. Like, are you good or not?
I agree.
I mean, some things could be that simple. Are you just good or not? I mean, a lot of people have seen it for a long time, brother. And it's okay. These lists don't really mean nothing anyway. So why are you getting so upset about them?
I think a lot of times we view how many championships someone had. Did they get it as the leader? This, that, and the third. And it's like, should we just be viewing these players as, are you just good or not? Like Kevin Durant said. AJ, since you're a newcomer, we'll start with you.
I kind of look at I'm more so of a wrestling fan of anything, and I look at it from that standpoint. Like, there are a lot of dope ass wrestlers who have never been like world champion, but they still have that accolade being like super athletic, good on the mic and great workers, good to get along with and all that stuff. They just never got the big one. So it's not all about the championships.
Okay. Now going to the wrestling point, right? Because I'm not the biggest wrestling fan, so I think this actually hit a little home. But I think for those casual fans, right? Casual basketball fans, and I'm a casual wrestling fan. I don't remember too many people that ain't really champions like that. Like, you got HBK, you got Rock, Kane, Undertaker, Kurt Angle and them. You know what I mean? Like, I personally don't remember the other good named athlete or the good named wrestlers that might have had those good accolades because I didn't follow wrestling as well either. So,
I can use Kane as an example. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I can use Kane as an example. Like Kane, as far as like WWF champion, he was only champion for a day, and that was his only reign. He'd been tag team champion multiple times, hardcore champion. Yeah, just one time, just one day, and that was back in like '98.
Damn, the way they had that man featured, you thought he was a champion at least 3 times.
Exactly. But that just goes to show it's not all about the championships.
Yeah,
because
no,
as beast as Kane was.
Yeah, no, it is not all about the championship. Charles Barkley is one person, for example, in the NBA, going back to the NBA side, that he doesn't have a championship, but got a lot of accolades. Sharper, what's your take on that? Should we just start viewing these players as whether or not you're good or whether or not you're winning a championship? I think if you're viewing it as whether or not you're good, your team looks a little bit better. So, like, what's your thoughts on this?
Like, for example, how would you rate Bradley Beal? Some people feel like Bradley Beal is he a star. I've heard him be called a star. I've heard him be called a superstar. Me, I just think he's a solid player at this point. And there's nothing against Bradley Beal. Like, would you say he's a top 12 shooting guard in the NBA? I don't know right now. But him going to a team like Phoenix, he's of course going to be the number 3 option. But for us, he was the number 1 because we didn't shoot the 4 of us, and Bradley Beal could have been the starting 5 for the Wizards. I mean, we didn't have anybody.
So in terms of Bradley Beal's legacy, then do you feel like his legacy is okay? It's good, or
I mean, it's going to be interesting. A lot of people were joking. One of my other homeboys was doing Wizards Unlocked, and he was talking about he doesn't know how well Bradley Beal will be received when Phoenix comes to DC to play and they do the tribute video.
Mm-hmm.
Is he gonna get the standing ovation? I mean, they brought back Gilbert Arenas, Caron Butler, Antoine Jameson, and they had to wait for that time with Gilbert to pass because of how he exited DC. But everybody loved Agent Zero or Hibachi. Look at John Wall. When John Wall came back, he got a standing ovation. Right now, I mean, he's a good player like Bradley Beal was an all-star on a bad team. But how will he be on an all-star team with an all-star roster? Is he still going to be an all-star? Or is he going to be a solid, good player? I think with D-Book and KD, he's going to be a solid, good player.
Okay.
Because they're going to get the number 1 and number 2 best defensive players on the opposing team.
Right.
Bradley Beal's going to get,
Ron, let me ask you this. Ron, you with us? You on mute?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Keep the audio clean.
Okay, bet. So, like, we work together, right? So, on the job, I don't necessarily think folks some folks care about, what's your status and, where you ranked and stuff like that. But really, I feel like people just care, are you good at the job? Like, are you, like how decent are you at your job, right? So is that fair to say? Because, NBA, end of day, is a job. It's an occupation. Some people don't love this thing. It's a job. So, I mean, should we just start viewing people as NBA players as whether or not you're good? Because the legacy aspect is cool for, like, the actual fans of the game. But I think from a casual fan perspective, should we just look at whether or not you're good? Which that might be another discussion too to have. What's considered good? But should we view it as that, or should we base it more so on legacy in terms of these players?
I think you have to base it on legacy. I don't think sports would be as impactful if people weren't basing on the broader impact of what it makes in their historical relevance. Right? Like, that was a good player. Like, that's kind of what makes the discussions. Like, Pistol Pete was a great point guard. He was one of the best 3-point shooters of all time. They would have had the line. Like, that's what makes conversation. That's what makes this stuff memorable. To sit there and say, oh, we should just not be as hard on people because we just determine whether or not they're good players. No, you're going to be compared to your peers, yo. Like, you're going to be compared to your generation. To sit there and say somebody should get, somebody should get more credence, right, for just being a performer or having a decent stat line. Nah, it's not fair to the players who actually bust their ass to be the best. Right? There wouldn't be a Kobe and a Jordan if it was just, oh, I just want to be good. Like, that's not reality, bro. That's just not. So I don't think a casual fan should just be like, oh, yeah, he's a good player. Nah, because then what are you doing it for? It's not a 9-to-5 job. It's not something that 15 million people can qualify for. If you go to school, you get this cert. This is one of about 6,000 players that have played in the NBA. That is a fraction of the population. You're talking heights and genetics and dynamics, it's even smaller to even get to that caliber and that level, yo. So to sit here and say, oh, it's like another job, I don't agree with that statement. It's not. It is entertainment, but it's not like another job, yo. If I was in a field that's 1 in 6,000 people, I deserve to pop my shit. I should want to be the best. I think that's good for people who are in the industry or a player. That's good for their rationalization in their context. But for the casual fan, we're paying our money to see a performance, to see an entertainment aspect. Nah, you can't just sit there and say, "Oh, we should be cool because they're good."
I do get that. It's tough sometimes. I do know when we rank players, we might rank them. Like, for example, let's say if Charles Barkley was in a better situation team wise, he had good teams, but let's say he was in a better situation team wise, he might get a little bit more recognition. So, I'm thinking like sometimes we got to look at players and be like, okay, like, this player was actually better than this player. Like, as opposed to saying, oh, well, this player has more championships, or this player has more MVPs. Like, those don't always tell the tale. And I feel like sometimes we shortchange players in those discussions when you want to have where you're saying who's better. Even they're all opinions, so you got to respect the end of the day. But still, I think like we do got to factor in more so whether or not players are actually good. Which again, that discussion of what do you consider as good could be another discussion for another day. But I also do agree too, though, you can't discredit people who are considered great. Like, this is their passion. You have the same opportunity. Like, they might have better ability, but I mean, some of these players, like Kobe wasn't the most athletic player out here, but he's at least for me number 2. So it's like clearly you can put some work ethic into it and climb up in the NBA ranking. So to that degree as well too, I also agree with that as well. But speaking of climbing up in the NBA rankings and whatnot, we had the NBA draft happen, ladies and gentlemen, relatively recently, and so it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird because I'm going to talk about next year's draft. Bronny James. You saw how he smiled right there. He thought we was going to talk about Victor. Got him.
We're going to get to it. We're going to get to it. We're going to get to it. We're going to get to it.
That warmed my heart. I appreciate you. But Bronny James, though. I looked at the draft class. I wasn't trying to figure out like, okay, well, the ranks. I was just curious who's the projected top picks, and I was quite disgusted in the picks. Like that's another video for another day. But I'm not that impressed with the picks. Like I'm just letting y'all know right now, fellas. But they had Bronny James going in the second round to the Toronto Raptors. And we've already know that LeBron James has said that he wants to play with his son. He did say recently he may shake that idea up a little bit. But in terms of going to a NBA organization that can potentially win a championship, the Raptors could possibly have that in spade. You got a nice little draft pick in Grady Dick, who just got drafted there. He came out of Kansas, nice little shooter. You got what's the boy's name? Pascal Siakam might still be there. Like, you got decent picks there.
With that, you got OG.
Yeah, OG. Well, I mean, he could leave too. But like the team, the current Toronto Raptors in place, if you're able to bring in a LeBron James, do you guys think that would actually work out? Again, AJ, I know you don't really follow basketball as much, but I mean, do you know the Raptors like that?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So adding in LeBron James, Fred VanVleet would be gone. I think Gary Trent might leave too, but let's keep Gary Trent there just because. So you got Gary Trent, Pascal Siakam, Scotty Barnes. I think Jakob Poeltl may leave, but that's your center, and you add in a LeBron James. But he's also like now 39, 40. Do you think that can win a championship, beating the likes of a Giannis or Jokic or Joel Embiid, who are in their primes, or Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, who's up and coming, or hell, maybe even Victor and the Spurs might be able to sneak in something? Like, what's your thoughts?
It's a possibility.
Okay.
How old is he now? How old is LeBron now?
He's like 38.
He's
38,
38.
39 this
He'll be
year.
39. He'll be 39 this year.
Yeah, this year.
Okay. I mean, it's still possible.
Okay.
It's still
Okay.
possible. I can see it happening. Within
Okay.
like the next maybe 2-3 years tops.
Okay. Okay.
Type shit. Yeah.
I will say that would be an interesting one. There or the Knicks would be interesting. Sharper, what's your takes on it? Would that what would be the possibility if you had to put a number on it, right? Like what percentage would you put in terms of the Raptors winning a championship?
With LeBron?
Yeah, with Braun.
45.
45. That's okay. Okay.
45%. I mean, think about it. I mean,
that's kind of high when you think about it, though. Like,
I know I'm being nice. I'm being nice saying 45%. I'm being nice. Realistically, I mean, probably 25, 30%.
30, yeah.
Only reason why I say it, I don't know if that's considered high, is when you factor in Braun, right? You get another playmaker, plus you adding in the shooting up, and I'm assuming Grady Dick is doing pretty well as a shooter. He's a 6'8", lanky, athletic shooter. So I'm cool with that. Not to mention Gary Trent ain't bad also. Scotty Barnes will be a tricky fit with Braun, but again, you get a defensive stud in that player. Not to mention he can give you 15 to 20 easy in the game. Same with Pascal Siakam, so it could potentially work. And you could also possibly run Braun at 5.
It's because Toronto is not as. I mean, even if they were to draft Bronny, Toronto is not a sexy destination. Like it's not. It's not New York.
Drake's out there, but LA. Drake's out there though. Drake's out there. Okay, Ron. Let me ask you this then. You got Bronny coming into the league, which he bringing in his followers, right? You got Braun over there now up in the North, and then you got to revitalize North with Drake and them, because they feel like the last time they got a solid star, they won a championship.
Bro, how many games did Drake go to this year? Like 3, 4?
That is so crazy.
And that's just to show off his new collab with Nike, to show off the shoes so he can show them off courtside.
So, Ron.
What's up, yo? What's the ask?
So, can we do you give any love to Braun? 1, making it entertaining in Toronto, and then 2, winning a championship in Toronto. Because now here in Sharper, it sounds like it wouldn't be entertaining now. Like I got an entertainment issue to worry about.
No, I mean it would be good for business. Like the stadium would make their money, team would make their money, but that squad ain't winning over probably like 37 games. And I'm being real, because Braun is not going to be able to carry that much of a workload to make them actually competitive.
Well, essentially what you're doing though is replacing Fred VanVleet with LeBron James, which I personally think Fred VanVleet is overrated. I'm on that bandwagon. I'm trying to push that narrative. No disrespect. But like, he's 29, if he gets 85 mil, I'm cool with that. Anything more, and that's for 4 seasons. Anything more than that, overrated. Now, I think you're bringing in LeBron James, that's 6'8", that's playmaking. You don't get the same 3-point shooting, but you get a much better field goal percentage. He's shooting like 39% from the field and 34% from the 3 last season. He does better from the 3 like usually, but you get a better player in LeBron James, even if he's older. So that's why I'm thinking I'm coming from. Like, and again, you got Gary Trent who can shoot. Grady Dick hopefully is do some things. Scotty Barnes would be a little interesting, but 37 games, Ron, that's a little tricky. Okay, but at least we can agree it'll be good for the game of basketball. Okay.
No, I'm not gonna say game of basketball. I'm gonna say it'll be good for the business.
I mean the NBA. I mean the NBA. Okay. So then, speaking of moves that'll be good for the NBA. The Warriors, we lost 2. The Warriors.
I'm back.
The Warriors. Is this good for the NBA? Seeing Chris Paul and Steph Curry.
Trying to keep the audio clean.
No, you good?
Hell no, it's not good for the NBA.
It's not good. Whoa.
I don't think it is either.
No, it's aggressive.
It's
Okay,
good
so
for Chris
okay,
Paul. It's not good for the NBA.
okay. Let's see, because I think AJ probably follows the NBA the least out of the group. So AJ, does a combination of Steph Curry and Chris Paul make you want to watch the NBA more?
Nah.
Damn. Okay.
Hey, he just keeping it real.
That was easy.
Like, but like, all right, so like, what if he's running the 6-man? So you get the original starting 5 of the Splash Brothers, Draymond Green, Andrew Wiggins, Kevon Looney, and then you got CP3 running the young guns. Can we get any love?
No, because bro, he's gonna be like a Patty Mills. If you're a loyalist, okay, you might like it. But in terms of like, it's not gonna change how Warriors play their freaking game. It's not gonna change
It doesn't
their
change.
scheme. No, because he's not gonna start. It's not gonna change their scheme. It's gonna be the same Warriors.
I'm sorry, you act like starters are the only thing that matters in the NBA. Manu Ginobili was a 6-man, and it mattered for your Spurs.
Bro, you asked if it would make him watch the game more. CP3 is not gonna make people watch the game more until the playoffs. When they're in, maybe people want to see CP get it, but it's not gonna help anything else. Like, it's really not. That's if he stays healthy.
So CP3 is one of the best point guards that you've seen in the NBA's history. Running with
He was one of the best.
As a mind, he's still like top 15 in the NBA right now. And he's old and injured. Like, come on, I'm not trying to peg him out to be this savior, but to a degree he could be, because the second unit actually ain't bad. Having him with Dante DiVincenzo, who Dante is a good player, overall player, especially if they can bring him back, that might make the Warriors seem more appealing, more entertaining, because they could start winning a lot more games now. Now they could be a 1 seed, 2 seed. Next thing you know, the Warriors are the talk of the town. You got Steph Curry and Chris Paul. Not to mention Chris Paul could win his first ring. I agree with you. More entertainment, more eyes are going to be coming on during the playoffs. But that's in general, though. I think that duo is entertaining enough to get some more viewership. But it sounds like he's siding with you though. It's so I can't be too mad at it.
But
I'm biased.
Here's my question, bro. How often do you think we're gonna see CP, Steph, and Clay on the floor consistently in a season? Like if we were doing percentages of load.
I don't have to see that trio. I just want to see the team functioning at a high capacity, because you don't have you realistically don't have to have Steph Curry and Chris Paul on the floor. You definitely will, but you don't have to. You could just have, like how Kentucky had 2 starting 5s back in the day. You could do something like that. I wouldn't like that, but you could. So I don't have to see that trio. It's literally just what Chris Paul is going to do for that second unit, because last year the Warriors were kind of struggling. Like, it was Steph and nobody else. And I understand Chris Paul has his woes, but I do think Chris Paul also can help make a team better. And against a second unit, Chris Paul could start looking like vintage Chris Paul.
Okay. I will agree he's a step above most 6 men in the league. I'll give you that. But when we're asking the premise of, does Chris Paul being on the Warriors make people want to watch basketball more? A veteran Chris Paul playing floor general in maintaining leads, or maybe slight, you're down 3-4, end of a quarter, you want to close out situations, is not going to showcase Chris Paul aside from spurts of like 6 points, 2 threes in 2 minutes. That's going to help, but it's not going to make people want to, I'm going to watch the whole Warriors game. They're still going to be watching for Steph. They're still going to be watching for Clay. And they're going to be surprised that Draymond didn't get traded. So they're going to see if Draymond bounces back because of the whole Jordan Poole situation. That's the reality why people are going to watch the squad, bro. And you said it yourself. If all they had last year was Steph by himself and a bunch of other people being hurt or whatever happened, Chris Paul isn't changing that narrative. He's not changing that narrative.
I think Chris Paul does not. I don't think he changes the hit or anything like that. But I think Chris Paul adds another veteran presence. And again, that's like that second unit. Like, you're going to watch the Warriors for Steph Curry. Like, I'm not saying you're going to watch it for Chris Paul. You're going to watch it for Chris Paul, but you're not going to watch it because of solely Chris Paul. Obviously, it's the Warriors as a whole. But adding Chris Paul to that, I would think, makes it more entertaining. But I guess we got to wait and see too. 'Cause I'm also expecting Lob City, like Jonathan Kuminga off the bench with Chris Paul. That could be pretty tough. Like that he's gonna have some options to utilize. And they got a lot of young, athletic, young guns out there. So if
treat
y'all
this
don't
like
think it's
2K.
entertaining, if y'all don't think it's entertaining now, I say just give it a little time, be a little patient, and give it a little look-see. Because I'm definitely gonna be tuning into the Warriors game if they keep Chris Paul. Because you also got to think too, the Chris Paul CP3 rivalry. That was interesting. You know, I'm always remember when Chris Paul got broken down and got sent to the flow because Curry did the double behind the back. That was kind of tough. So I was like, damn. Now they're on the same team.
Well, now it's even funnier. Y'all remember when Steve Kerr and Chris Paul had that interaction where Steve Kerr thought he was trying to be funny in that fake laugh, and
Chris Paul talks about that.
yeah, I posted that today on my story on IG. They were asking like, why did you fake laugh? Like the shit wasn't funny. Exactly. So now you're gonna be with them. But here's the thing: what percentage do you guys think that Chris Paul will still be with the Warriors after the All-Star weekend?
I mean, if they're hitting on all cylinders, I don't see why you trade them. So
I'm hoping he is, but I see him getting hurt again. I'm hoping he is, but I see him getting hurt again. I'm gonna be real.
I mean, let's be honest. The only reason why the Warriors scooped him up was because they were like, we're not about to let no LA team, whether it be the Lakers or the Clippers, scoop him up. It's like the NBA does not want to see Chris Paul in a Lakers uniform. How does that make you feel, Trey? They had the Kobe, the situation when he tried to get with Kobe. They blocked that, and now the Warriors jumped on it.
I try not to think about it too much about that first Knicks trade. Now it is what it is. CP3 would have been getting $30 million. So I mean, how do you pay everybody else? Like I don't think you can necessarily get CP3. And again, you got the injury history worries. So I think on the Warriors, it's their deeper team. So that's why I'm cool with him going to. I don't think it's a keep CP3 from going to the Lakers petition out here. Like I don't like that. That was back in the day when David Stern said, "Nah, they about to ruin the league for." It's not that type of time. Like it's not that.
Wait, I got a question.
It's not that type.
Trey, how much y'all paying AD? Because everything you named applies to AD right now. Everything you said applies to AD right now. How much y'all paying AD?
Mr. Glass.
But here's the thing, though, Ron. You're talking to the guy who said we shouldn't have traded all of our assets for Anthony Davis. So when you say that, you're telling how old was I in 2019? Like a 27-year-old Trey, he was right. So thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm just saying the same analogies you used about the CP3 situation, which you were for.
He's at least younger. He's at least younger and more dominant. Like, all right. So AJ, real quick, would you rather have CM Punk or
you saying hold on. Time out. I gotta ask this question. You're saying AD is younger and more dominant than CP3 when that trade was about to go through?
No, I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about right now.
Oh, all right.
I'm talking about right now. And then so it's like, would you rather have CM Punk or like who's a good oh my god, who's like a solid wrestler who like maybe got a little injury issue, but
the dude I don't even know, he might have retired, but I know he had a bunch of problems. I think it might have been Seth. He had a bunch of injuries.
I need somebody in their prime with a little bit.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
In their prime now, or just prime in general?
The dude with the long hair.
In their prime now.
Seth Rollins.
Okay, so would you rather have CM Punk or Seth Rollins? Hold on, Sean.
This is AD.
Hold on. Would you rather have CM Punk or Seth Rollins?
Seth Rollins. From a working standpoint, Seth Rollins.
Okay, so that
exactly.
CM Punk is going to be CP3 and Seth Rollins is Anthony Davis. That's essentially what I was. I mean, so I said an athlete in his prime but still injury prone, Anthony Davis. And then CM Punk was injury prone, if I'm not mistaken. He had some injuries.
He's definitely injury prone now. That nigga like in his 40s.
and he old.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think you would rather have.
And he had a 7-year hiatus.
Yeah, so that's how, I mean, I feel like Seth with his injuries in the last 4 years is more like CP right now. Like Journeyman, he's gonna put on the show, he's gonna show up, right? Like he knows how to work the crowd. His body just broke the heck down.
I'm gonna rely on AJ there, but I gave him the standards right of AD, athlete in his
Yeah.
prime.
I mean, I'm hit the AD though. Yeah.
So okay, so I mean, if he gave it and he know who AD is, so I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I'm gonna lean on him. He's the WWE expert, or the wrestling expert, I should say, because there's way more than WWE out there. But okay,
that's AD right there, Mr. Glass.
Wow.
At this point in his career, I completely agree.
He's this generation's Derrick Rose.
Wow.
Nah.
I wouldn't even say all that.
Nah, you're right. No, I take that back. You're right.
Yeah, because
Rose wasn't that bad.
Rose was got MVP.
But look,
Derrick
fellas,
right.
I got this one last question about the Warriors. I don't want to harp on it too long. After that, I want to talk about something else. Do y'all feel like the Warriors did an okay job getting CP3? Did that help them retool?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll give them that. It is a great and very smart roster move to have him in that locker room.
Okay.
Because if you think about the past 3 years, he has playoff experience, he has championship run experience now, right? He's going to be a fan favorite. And I do agree the veteran knowledge he's going to bring to that younger squad and bring to that team as a gelling factor is something that him, Steph, and Clay can literally mold the next generation of Warriors players. It's a great move. And I'm saying that because even if he's out the second half of the season, him being in the locker room is still going to be worth the money you're paying him. I completely agree it's a great move. I don't think he's going to be a huge contributor.
Gotcha. Sharper, what's your take? So is it a good retool move?
I believe so. I mean, the swap they made with Jordan Poole, we knew that wasn't going to work after the whole Draymond situation. And then in the playoffs or towards the end of the season when you had Draymond trying to holler at Jordan Poole, and Jordan Poole really wasn't vibing with him. And then Steph went over there to talk to him and talk some sense into him. And then they cut to the camera and they showed Draymond and Steph Curry kind of dapping each other up. So I think is Chris Paul gonna bring the explosiveness like a Jordan Poole did? No, but he will bring that leadership. He'll be that person, like you said, to come off the bench, and also he's an insurance policy. You know, we've talked about CP3 with his injury issues, but if Steph needs a night off or whatever have you, they know they have a competent, when healthy, point guard to help run that organization.
Yeah. Okay. AJ, do you have anything you want to say on the Warriors retooling? Is it a good retool or no?
No, it's good.
Okay.
It's definitely good.
Okay. Got you. So then I think the energy might kick up a little bit here. I'm gonna try to minimize the talking with some people, okay? But I think the moment has arrived. Fellas. All right, it's finally here. For the Wizards rebuild. See, I got them again. Like I
isn't one, bro. It isn't a rebuild. The Wizards still gonna suck. I don't get that mad about the Wizards that they drafted a dude that played with the best player in the draft. Let's keep moving.
I think the funniest thing is as soon as we talked about the Wizards, Sharper left. Like he already knew he didn't want no parts of it.
It's cool, Sharper. I got you.
That man is smart.
They paid Bill all this money and they got rid of him.
Hey, now I'm here, baby. Wizards, we going for that goal, baby. Yeah, baby.
Change up.
Yeah.
I appreciate you for changing the camera because again, that solar flare was gonna be real. So
here we go. You talking solar flare, but you can barely see his hairline. Come on, Trey, you gonna chill. There you go. Shoot your head down. Shoot your head down.
Hold up. What's my man to play for the Celtics with the headband?
You talking about the dude that left my Spurs? You talking about White? You talking about Derrick White?
That's so crazy.
That's rude. That's rude, yo. That Derek White comment. That's about it.
Stop it. You need to stop.
Hey,
it.
look.
You
Hey,
look like
look.
Oddish.
Take the braids out.
You look like Oddish in the face. You better chill out.
Nigga said oddish.
Okay.
He said,
Hey.
take the braids out. Don't look like a
Hey, look,
twist.
head long.
Hey, no, he got.
Head long when I take it out
I'm
now.
sorry,
That
head
head
twist
long.
out.
I ain't
No,
gonna
the
hold
braids
it.
look good. I ain't talking. I'm just saying you get that.
Oh, yeah,
You
shout
know.
out to Shonda. Shout out to Shonda and
Hey, yeah,
Smitty.
she
Shout
did
out to
well.
Shonda and Smitty.
Great job.
I mean,
Oh yeah.
job.
Hey, okay.
that's
Yeah.
always be cool. Some slight, good conversation out there. But look, now Shonda and them out in the head talks out in Virginia side. We can post it up here. But speaking on
Good
the
plug.
Virginia
Good
side,
plug.
again, you know what I'm saying? Sharper, your team is looking a little new. You got Jordan Poole.
Hey, you look. Hey, you need to go back to this look. You look good here, brother. You need to go back to this one.
Oh wow.
Yo, he going in. Oh man,
But
he's going
I
in.
always say I look like Sean Livingston though. It's either like I was gonna make a post like who does it
But
better.
I mean, damn, bro, you got the Bow Wow braids. Let me hold you.
He said the light.
He gonna keep. Hey,
Yeah,
look,
let
look,
me
he
hold
gonna keep
Oh, he
repeating.
going in. He
He
going
gonna keep
in.
regurgitating
Jesus.
the same joke.
Oh,
I always say I look like Sean Livingston. That don't mean nothing.
And I know I look like
Hey,
Thriller. I get it.
That ain't
Hey,
nothing
look,
new.
they say I look like the Dream. I mean, I've heard everything.
Oh.
Hold
Hey,
on.
pull Derek White real quick,
Look,
though.
hey, look, Sharp. Let me ask you this. Okay. So look, Sharp. Let me ask you this, yo. Let me ask you this. Do you think Jordan Poole can be a good mentor to Johnny Davis? I know you say you don't like Johnny Davis like that, but Johnny Davis did actually start balling a little bit better towards the end of the season. So, do you think Jordan Poole and Johnny Davis can actually coexist?
Look,
And there was a couple games with Johnny Davis had like 25. So I'm just saying, like,
this is my thing, right? I would hope so, but Jordan Poole is gonna get more shine now. We got Tyus up there. That's the new backcourt. And we got a bunch of shooters. We still haven't addressed what the main issue is with the Wizards. We can't guard a Park Car. Like our defense. Like it. I mean, we got rid of. We traded KP to the Celtics. That was big for them. But we know we're gonna be sorry for the next 3 to 4 years. Actually, you know what? Real talk. And this kind of ties into what we were talking about earlier. A lot of us Wizards fans have been talking. We feel like they're playing the long game. What if we draft Bronny and LeBron comes to DC? He comes to what used to be Chocolate City, but he comes to DC.
for what?
You were talking about Toronto. What I'm saying?
I was putting up a good situation, like Sharp. Yeah, that's y'all not
I
a good
got you.
situation.
No, I got it. But I'm just saying, what if? Like, what if Bronny gets drafted? You said in the second round, right? Because that's some stuff. No, I'm saying this. What I'm trying to say is that we all talking about putting butts in seats because probably next season you'll be able to get courtside seats for like $70. Shoot, the Mystics games will probably be more expensive than the Wizards games. So what I'm saying is to put butts in seats. I wouldn't be. I mean, I'm talking crazy, being goofy, yeah, but that's something I wouldn't be surprised if the Wizards did. Like, I remember going to see MJ play Kobe when the Wizards had it.
Actually, I remember.
I remember going to a game and it was sold out like crazy because it was MJ and Kobe. Wizards were like 11th in the East at the time. Lakers were in first place. But it was Michael Jordan and Kobe. Realistically, we're gonna be, hopefully. I want to feel what the Spurs fans felt when they got that ping pong ball bounced their way. Like that, we haven't had, of course, that excitement since John Wall.
Y'all not gonna like so. Next year, right? If
we're gonna be sorry. I mean, we're gonna be sorry for
but here's the thing, though, Sharp. The next year's number one draft pick. I don't. If that's who y'all get, I don't think.
It's not. It's not. It's not gonna be.
So I mean, realistically, but like you're saying, you want LeBron James. So now that's going to take you out of the number 1 draft pick running. I don't think you guys just go all the way at the bottom. Like, I don't think LeBron James just does that. Like,
I feel like for
don't see
us,
it. So
we're gonna try.
Personally, I think you just being a fan right now and you just dreaming. I don't know.
He wants hope. Ain't nothing wrong with hope, bro.
No, I know I was talking crazy.
But I don't know, champ. Ron, let me ask you this: the Wizards rebuild. Do you have any faith in their organization making the right moves going forward? Because first, I was about to say, because I ain't really seen good moves. You see what I'm saying? Like, I ain't really.
Here's the thing. Well, let me interject real quick.
Like,
so here's the thing. We got rid of Ernie Grunfeld, but then after Ernie left, we had his boy Tommy Shepard, who was fooling people. He was a protege of Ernie, so he ran the organization like Ernie. Now he's gone. We're starting from scratch. Like, it's like, I feel like this coming from a fan is something that, like, this whole Bradley Beal situation. Bradley Beal probably should have been traded 3 years ago when his stock was higher, right? And Washington fans, we've been wanting to rebuild and blow it up, but we always knew in the back of our mind under the old regime that it was never going to happen. So we would keep saying, yeah, let's do a rebuild, let's blow it up, knowing that it was never going to happen. When Tommy Shepard got fired, we were shocked. And now we're getting what we've asked for, which we were already bad, but now we're going to be the sticky shit at the bottom of the barrel bad. We've been wanting it, and we, I guess, never thought it would happen. So now it's happening. It's going to be a 3 to 4 year process. Washington, you would think, it's not a Los Angeles, it's not a Miami, it's not a New York, but it's not like a small market.
Y'all not coming off as competent, bro. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you.
No, we got a whole. But here's the thing:
y'all had Bradley Beal, Russell Westbrook, and y'all made a little push for the playoffs. And then you guys eventually got Kristaps Porzingis. I feel like, you know what?
You did nothing with Kristaps, though.
But here's the thing, though. If you already had something that
they should have rebuilt with Kristaps. I see what you're saying, Trey.
You should have just kept trying to run with Russell Westbrook, who worked well with Bradley.
We said that. Well, here's the thing.
Or try to find somebody.
Here was the catch. Hold on real quick. I agree with you. It's because they were getting ready to fire Scott Brooks. And Russell Westbrook and Scott Brooks are like this. So they notified Russell Westbrook, like, hey, we're not going to keep Scott Brooks. We're about to fire him. Where would you want to go? And we can help accommodate you.
Right there, though. And I get what you're saying.
The fact that you're moving that piece.
But you basically told Russell Westbrook, hey, we don't want you on the team then. You could have very easily said, we're getting ready to fire your coach. What do you want your contract to look like next year? Like, that's a much different contract.
Oh, I agree.
I mean, AJ, you shook your head adamantly on the Wizards rebuild. And, we're in the DMV. So, I'm trying to figure out, how do I word the question? Because, I don't know how deep you are in the organization like that. But, I guess
this is going to be like a New York Knicks rebuild, bro. Like, how long do you think DMV fans will be patient for the Wizards to get back on track?
They've been patient for a very long time.
We've been patient for a minute.
They've been patient for 20 years.
I rocked with the Wizards back in the day. I used to rock with them heavy.
But y'all had
since 2002.
Opportunity though. John Wall and Brad Beal provided some playoff pushes. Again, we had Brad Beal and Russell Westbrook for a little stint, and now it's
the curse of Jordan. They disrespected Jordan. They ain't been right since.
Okay, so
he makes a good point with that, though. He makes a good point.
I'm gonna be honest. I feel like maybe just because I'm a Laker fan. After 5-6 years, if I feel like we're not back on track, you got to fire your owner. Like, you got to change. You got to change someone, because it's not that hard.
I'm just saying, DMV people we're patient.
Look at
Skins fan. I'm a Skins fan. Look at Skins fan.
I'm right there.
We are patient.
And that's my point. That is my point. I'm a Dallas fan, bro. The way that the DC market works with their sports teams, all of them, they get a big name to draw people to the stadium. They get a little minor bit of success, then they blow it the hell up to save costs. It is a cheap ass town.
Well, hey, I'm glad.
I don't think that this rebuild, even with Poole and with them grabbing a dude from France, if they don't build around Poole and the new France dude, they aren't going to do anything because they aren't going to pay anybody. Like, I hate to say it, they don't have the same GMship as San Antonio where they're going to scout appropriately. They're going to keep trying to build off of freaking free agents and trades. And then when it doesn't work or they can't make money, they start blaming the players instead of blaming the organization. Now, no offense, but the lowly, in my opinion, slightly delusional DC fan is more about the city and about the area than about the team. We're all in this crapshoot together. So they're going to keep making money, right? Because they have parts in the city that are going to make the team run. But the reality is, it ain't gonna be no 5-year rebuild. It's gonna be like 10 years.
I think it could be 5. I do like Bilal Koulibaly, who they just drafted this year. I do like him, and I do think people got to be patient with Buddy. He could be solid.
Going off what he just said, DC, being a Skins Commanders fan, being a Wizards fan, we get everybody's. He's right. Like, San Antonio is grade A on how to run an organization. I remember we drafted Jan Vesely, right? The Wizards drafted Jan Vesely when Ernie Grunfeld was here. How did Ernie Grunfeld find out about Jan Vesely? Off of YouTube highlight clips. My man played 2 years for us, averaged like 4 points a game, wasn't properly developed. And then we traded him and he went to another team. He only lasted a year and then he was back overseas. Whether it be the Skins Commanders or the Wizards, we get everybody's leftovers and what they don't want anymore. Perfect example when it comes to the Commanders and Skins, Donovan McNabb. I mean, people forget Donovan McNabb played for us. I would say maybe the only true player that came from another team that was pretty decent and solid with us, that was a big name profile player, was Deion Sanders. That's because on the opposite end, he had Daryl Green on the other side, and then he had a young rookie Champ Bailey in the nickel. We were shut down. Our offense was kind of sketch, but the secondary was straight. Look at Spencer Dinwiddie. We got Spencer Dinwiddie from Brooklyn, and I know Spencer Dinwiddie was balling in Brooklyn, but look what happened when he came here. I feel like when it comes to organizations, we don't know how to utilize and maximize the talent or the free agents that we get. You just said Kristaps Porzingis. Part of it was injury, but we really didn't know how to use him. We really didn't.
He played well this season, given 20.
No, he did. I'm saying he did.
Now, but look how long he's been.
I would have kept Russell Westbrook, like I said.
But that's what I'm saying. As an organization, y'all did not make the best decisions. So it's like I think y'all actually could take 5 years to do a rebuild and actually get back on track where we can say, you know what, the Wizards are making playoff pushes. But
they're gonna self-sabotage it,
because I'm not gonna lie, I have heard like some of the Wizards say like they want to sell tickets, they like the storylines and stuff like that. I don't believe that's how you win championships.
It's not. You keep a core together and you build around it.
The DC
market is not made for success.
Matter of fact, because talking about
if you look at our years that we've had success, right? You look at the original big three with the Wizards: Gilbert Arenas, Juwan Howard, and Caron Butler. None of those three players the Wizards drafted. All those were via trade or free agency signings, right?
But here's the thing, but Sharp, how long did they keep them together though?
We kept them, I think, 3 years, Mac, but we didn't keep them 3 or 4 years, and then it sucked because that was the last time the Wizards had 3 All-Stars together. Like, we had a solid, legit, like we had a chance. The thing, besides
organization and management messed that up.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what I'm saying. Going to this next team, because we do want to talk about this other team. Okay, they were also in the draft. I think they did pretty well, but they could be viewed as a restart. But at least their organization ain't bad. All right. It's the Spurs again. This retool thing, man. I wanted to talk to y'all. I'm playing now. It's the Spurs restart. So we got 2 Spurs fans up here.
Technically a half Spur fan too.
Y'all see the background.
So like I said, we got 2
That's the only reason I showed up. The only reason I'm here. I'm like Marshawn Lynch. I'm just here to talk about the Spurs.
Exactly. Like, look, don't worry about Bruce Bowen wannabe over there. Ron, AJ.
One of the best defenders ever.
Not you. I was talking about Sharper because he looked like Bruce.
You ain't gonna come from my Spurs at any capacity. Let's go.
I'm not coming for your Spurs. I'm coming for him. Like that was the only thing. How are y'all feeling about Victor Wembanyama? Because the thing, and when I say how are y'all feeling about this, there is a little bit of pressure now. Like you did get him. Congratulations. Like tip of the cap, all that stuff. 7'5" unicorn. But we did just finish talking about another guy who actually was called a unicorn, like literally was deemed a unicorn in Kristaps Porzingis. So we saw his injury issues. Any trepidation with health?
Nope. You know why? Because if you pay attention to Victor Wembanyama's, and I'm butchering his name because I'm tired, but if you pay attention to the reality of how he's been trained in France from the age of when he was 11, he's been in Tony Parker's basically in that league on his team. Tony completely rebuilt the way French basketball is played. He put NBA caliber infrastructure around those young players. He's conditioned his body to work the way it works for him. He's doing plyometrics. He's doing mobility. He's doing things that work for his size with his range of motion. So unlike Porzingis or a Yao or players that are big that have no malleability in their ability to take impact, he's been conditioning his body for it. You put that type of previous prep work on a Spurs infrastructure team with mentorship of 2 of the best bigs in the history of the game and our previous 2 number 1 draft picks, both Hall of Famers, he has nothing but an opportunity for success here.
Okay,
our injuries are going to happen. They happen, but he's going to be mentored by people who know how to handle their bodies, bro.
Okay. Now, AJ.
Plus, we're old school. Plus, we're old school team, so we got the old school style.
Exactly.
So,
I mean, I'm curious how Pop. I'm curious how Pop actually like runs y'all team this year because I like Jeremy Sokan on the squad. I think y'all still got Trey Jones on the squad too. He's a quality point guard, and you got Victor as well. So it's something interesting to work with.
Yeah, throw the Dookie in there.
Let me ask you guys this. I mean, no, he's a good point guard. Like I don't care that he went to Duke. Like he's one of the best point guards in the league. Let me ask you guys this: Victor Wembanyama, all-star starter. Like, does that sound far-fetched? Because and the reason why I bring this up, the last time we had someone of this magnitude, right, from the international wave, come into the NBA was Yao Ming, and he was an all-star every season. I mean, you trying to do like a highlight because there's a nice little reflection that we can't see it.
I'm just.
Yeah, I'm saying like every time, it's just like it keep messing up every time.
You see the name. You see the name.
No, you can't. I promise you.
Yeah.
You can see it.
That joke turned Super Saiyan.
Is that Admiral?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Big man impact is not that far-fetched in our organization, Trey. And for a player of his caliber, his height, you got to remember some of this voting is not all done. It's done by the public. He's probably going to be a rookie starter. He's probably going to be in the front run for Rookie of the Year. There's no way around that.
No, he's a front runner for Rookie of the Year. I don't think he's a clear-cut favorite, but he's a front runner for it. I think he got to battle Chet because you got to think too. Chet's situation with OKC, they can go to the playoffs. Speaking of playoffs, what do you guys actually think y'all playoff chances are?
Definitely better now.
Yeah.
See, okay. Let me start with the Wizards fan because I know he don't sniff the playoffs too much, but he know a non-playoff team when he see one. So Sharp, talk to me. Is this a non-playoff team to you, or like can they make something shake and get to the playoffs?
I think they can make something shake. I definitely think they could be in there.
Give me a percentage if you got to put something on it. Like
I give them 55-60%.
Okay.
Now that's low.
Now do a little. That's low. That's crazy. Now do a little spicy. How much money would you put down that they do get to the playoffs? How much?
I put 100 down.
Why?
I'll put 2 down.
Oh,
that's real. Okay.
I'll put 2 down. I'll put 2 down.
No, 2 is very $200. I mean, $2 is very
No, I'll
generous.
put 200 down. I'll put 200 down. You can talk crap all the
200
shit you want,
is
Trey.
very good,
You are
Ron. That's
still
very good.
mad.
You got the Crown
You
Royal
still
back.
mad. You still mad. You really mad.
Why am I mad? Y'all
Where
gonna
was
mess
all
up
this
at some point
animosity
in time.
coming
You're gonna
from?
leave, so it's whatever. I'm not mad. Victor, you know, when you want to come to the Lakers, I'll
We're gonna have a better record than the Lakers. I promise you that.
Ooh,
I promise you that.
How much money do you want to bet?
Call it.
Oh, he said call it.
Call
Who
it.
said call it?
Call it.
Mm.
Stop playing.
Call it.
Okay, I'll do 100.
All right, we on it.
You have.
Who's
Just
on
be
it?
clear. Just be clear. This
Yes,
next
we
season,
did.
20,
we have it. Yes.
after the one that Victor got drafted, like not no future. No, I'm talking about this next season. You're saying the San Antonio Spurs will have a better record than AJ. Are you trying to get in on this deal?
Nah, the way my bank account set up, nah, I'm good.
I love the price. What would be a good price tag for you if you believe this? You sound like you believe in it now that your Spurs gonna have a better record than my Lakers. So is that the case? Because I got 100 with Ron. You don't. We ain't gotta do that.
I ain't betting. I'm just watching.
Getting a little
I'll be
spicy.
a witness. I'll be a witness.
That's fine. We got a witness. We got the video. It is what it is.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And you know,
That's
I keep my word.
wild.
I don't keep my bets. But here's
So-
my reason why, bro. One second.
So
Here's
we
my
could-
reason why.
Oh
A
yeah,
year from now,
let him say the reason why and then say that after.
Here's my reason why, bro. Granted, last season was a poor performance. We had a lot of young players on the team that still were trying to maintain and gel. What I think you're really not paying attention to is how Victor's style of play is going to be easier than what he's played in Europe. I'm sorry, Luka already called it. Scoring in the NBA is easier than in Europe. You're talking about one of the best scorers in the history of European basketball. By ability, God-given attribute, and range, you kind of can't stop him. We're talking KD level skill with about 8 more inches, give or take, depending on what KD wants to say 7 feet or not. But I think you're underestimating how offensively efficient and defensively dominating this kid is going to be. So yes, I will call it. They're going to have a better record than the Lakers because y'all can't stay healthy. Y'all are going to blow something the hell up. And quite honestly, with the load manager, y'all going to drop games just because you want to put old people on the floor. So I'm comfortable with that 100, flat out. Because if you can't score in the paint and you can shoot the 3 ball,
Who can't score in the
you
paint?
might be if you can't get a driving dish setup with most of the way the NBA is played off of screens and other setups, you got to go for mid-range or 3. There's only a few things that can dominate a game pace off of mid-range and 3s. There's only a few teams that can do it well. And the Lakers ain't one of them.
I'm gonna just say respectfully, and I'm before I say anything, the bet is already underway, so it does not change. So I don't want to hear no.
Bro, I don't change. You know who you're talking to.
I'm just saying right now that's already cemented.
You know who you're talking to.
So
you know who you're talking to.
Yeah, no. I'm saying that.
You ain't gotta worry about me.
I'm making sure they know on the screen, like there's no backing out of this. That's 100 that he's gonna have to give me come next year. But in terms of like this man, like I'm trying to imagine the Spurs going up against us, and our roster ain't even full yet. That's what's crazy. But I kind of have a gist of what your team is gonna look like. And I mean, realistically, Ron, y'all were getting dog walked a lot of the season. Y'all, like I don't see how you believe you're gonna eclipse.
There was a purpose for that. There was a purpose. There was a purpose for that.
Even if you factor that in, right? I don't think our start is going to be the same as it was this past season. Like we had 2 5-game losing streaks. You know what I'm saying? I think we have a little bit better cohesion as a team. And you can say the injury is a worry, but that's also for every team.
Is a worry. That's a guarantee, bro.
The guarantee is crazy. It's a new season every season, so you never know. Like we said the same thing for Chris. Or people were saying the same thing for Kristaps Porzingis, but we just highlighted how that man was healthy and getting the bucket out there. So it's not a guarantee. And before AD actually came to the Lakers, the man was relatively healthy. He plays 75%.
Which means y'all infrastructure doesn't take care of your players properly. I'm sorry, dude. For a dude to be,
it also means he can get back on track. Because even you were saying you liked how he was putting on the weight. It looked like he was good. So give him some time.
Sure.
Give the man some time.
For a player to come from New Orleans and be younger and have minimal injuries, then go to LA and he's consistently being injured, like play affecting injury every year. That is a organizational inefficiency, bro.
But I don't.
All that money that y'all got on entertainment, all that crap, y'all don't take care of the players. There's a reason why LeBron don't play every damn game. Because he knows the training and he spends $1 million on his own body.
I don't think that's on training staff. Like, and there's also onus on players too to get better as well. So you can't throw all of that on an organization. That's like saying, oh, New Orleans and it's trash because
you can say it's a red flag. You can say it's a red flag to have an all-star that can't. No, because you have a quote unquote dominating player who came in with no injury issues coming to LA for the most part. Aside from one. Zion was injured coming into the league. They're two completely different things, bro.
That one
I do not have confidence that the Lakers are going to take care of y'all's star key performance players well enough to have a substantially good season. I don't believe it. The biggest part being AD is supposed to be carrying the load for y'all, and he can't do it because he can't stay healthy.
I would love to
hear the first two seasons. I was like, yeah, it's AD, it's whatever. Every single season is something. I'm putting him on the organization now.
Ron, I would love to see a starting five, and no, let me rephrase that. Just going down the roster, Victor Wembanyama's not the best player in the series, or I'm sorry, in the game. He's not the best player on the floor. So it's still Anthony Davis and LeBron James. And then after that, whoever we bring in addition, all right, well, you might slide. You might pick that third spot. But after that, like, bro, it's probably going to be the Lakers for the rest of that time. So all I'm saying is thank you for the 100. I appreciate that. Really, I
sound good.
No, it does sound good. It really does sound good. Like that.
We'll see. We'll see.
We're gonna see.
I'm sorry, bro.
We're gonna, in a year,
like LeBron's trying to make it to his son. He's not going to play well for you this year. You don't get it, bro. You're gonna see. You're gonna see, yo. You're gonna see. LA is Showtime for a reason. You're going to literally see a blow up season. Y'all are going to potentially blow this season completely. Y'all thought Westbrook was bad with all the media crap? Wait till the season comes out. I do not see it going well because there's too many external factors around y'all's squad. And there's too much that LeBron wants personally to happen where he's not going to push himself and end up blowing himself or hurting himself. Y'all don't win if LeBron is not healthy and performing. You don't. It's been proven.
So,
he has one goal, making it to next year.
The same thing about Anthony Davis. Like, that's anybody's stars. Like, that. To me, one, you're saying this, and again, we don't know who else is on our roster. Like, we're still.
That's even worse.
No, because I'm saying that because we could actually make improvements, and we just came from the Western Conference Finals. Y'all were watching
on the back of who?
Y'all were
back of who?
Hold on,
y'all were back of who?
Playing? No, y'all weren't in the play-in. My bad. That was us. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all not there.
So you saying y'all barely made it to the playoffs?
You said
y'all barely made it to the playoffs. Y'all barely made the playoffs. Yes, you made it to Western Conference Finals, but you barely.
What was that word after barely though? What was that word? Oh, I'm sorry. What was that phrase after barely?
I'm just proving a point. We're talking season records here. What was y'all season record?
It was low, but again, do you imagine
in the conversation?
Do you imagine the same start that we had? Because there was a lot of cohesion issues that we had with Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis as our trio. So, knowing we don't have that BS to worry about, it's not going to be the similar start.
So now you blaming Russ.
No, I said the cohesion. Like personally, I don't think we should have brought Russ over. We should have had DeMar, because that's when DeMar was playing at MVP season.
Now he's blaming Russ. So why do you think?
Did I say one? Did I say Russ or did I say the fit? Because I mentioned
you said there was a cohesion issue.
With who?
Only with those three.
Okay,
So
but
here's
you
my
but you
question.
single
The
but you
only
pointed out Russell Westbrook. Why?
because the way you set your premise, the only variable change in that was Russell Westbrook.
So I made the change for the Lakers to trade Russell Westbrook because again, I've always been on the record for saying we shouldn't have gotten Russell Westbrook on the team. We should have gotten Buddy Hield and DeMar DeRozan since those were available options and actual possible options that we were talking about. But LeBron James wanted to go with Russell Westbrook. So
Did y'all not have bad starts when it was AD and LeBron by themselves with the squad? In their time together, have y'all not had bad starts with them?
not two 5-game losing streaks. No.
Okay.
And other times,
so there weren't.
Ron, no, like Ron, what are you talking about? No,
I'm just saying,
the bubble year,
y'all have always been slow starters. With those two, you've been slow starters.
I wouldn't say we're slow starters. Like this was more than slow starters. Like slow starting is you might have a bad little run one time and then you get back on track. This was different. Like this was a little bit off, but I appreciate you though for the collection plate. I appreciate that though. Sharper,
You funny, yo.
Sharper, did you want to make a bet on the Wizards? Have a better record.
He was like,
what?
Like, man, what?
I was just asking just in case.
I would say this. Wizards will win 25 games next year.
That's very interesting. Okay. Would you like
it will be funny in a year. 25? We'll be looking back at this conversation and saying who's giving who the $100.
It would be funny when you see Ron get.
You gotta record that.
Would you like to?
I'll be here.
Would you like to also jump in on the Spurs having a better record than the Lakers next season?
I ain't got a dog in the fight, so I'm chilling. That's between y'all.
Okay.
You know what'd be funny though? Y'all should do double or nothing if y'all were to meet each other in the first round.
I'm down with that.
That would be you know what we should do?
You talking about the playoffs?
In the playoffs, the first round. We could either do a live podcast, watching the game, watch and react, or we could meet up, and watch the game.
That's a bet. Honestly, I wish that they would be 9-10. Hopefully, the Lakers would be 9 in this situation because then you get a 1-game elimination. So it's winner.
Ooh.
If there's any
how many times have we played ourselves in the play-in so far?
You said what?
How many times have we played y'all in the play-in so far?
Have y'all played in the play-in?
Yes, we have. I just don't know what the Lakers Spurs record is for playing tournament. Well, I know y'all are up. I just don't know how many times it's been.
Well, considering the fact it's kind of new, I don't think we've ever played y'all.
I think the first year we did.
Y'all did play in 2022. Y'all lost to the Pelicans though. But at least y'all were the 10 seed, so at least it's on brand with y'all in this scenario.
I feel like there was one we played y'all in there because I remember it, but that's cool. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, nah. But I'm down with the double or nothing though. If we meet in the play-in or playoffs, I prefer play-in because it's one game. But series though, it's just worse for you. Like it just looks bad. Again, AJ, you don't want to get involved with this, man?
No, I'm good.
Yeah, all right. Well, look, fellas, I greatly appreciate this. Did y'all have anything that y'all wanted to say for y'all want to close up shop, or is there another topic that y'all want to talk about before we close up shop?
Spurs got good history with number 1 picks.
Hey, there you go.
The fact that it's David Robinson, Tim Duncan, and Victor Wembanyama, that's not really, a hot take.
And
it's not a hot take. I'm just giving you history. I mean, past 2 number 1 picks, both Hall of Famers. I'm saying.
Yeah, I was about to say, I ain't gonna keep these boys all too long. But I appreciate y'all boys definitely, and I'll probably have to cut out some of that because that was a little bit of us talking. But no, I really appreciate y'all. But we'll definitely tune in again another time though. I may try to limit the Spurs fans up though. Some of them do be getting annoying, so we'll do that.
just like Lakers fans. Just like Lakers
fans are always good. We're
annoying as hell.
City of Angels. We're angelic. Okay. On that one though. On that one, we're gonna sign off. All right, y'all.
I did not know you guys were still here. As you can see, we're at the back end of the show. No pun intended, but look, hope you all enjoyed it. And before you go, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow the IG account, share the content to anybody who's anybody. And most importantly, leave your thoughts and comments below. But I gotta go back and play Buddy in 2K, so let me unmute him real quick. Excuse me. Hey, boss, I'm back. Nah, you better catch this word. You know we get buckets around here.